Hello and welcome everyone. Before we begin, I would like to quickly take this opportunity to thank you all for your interest in Atlas 6.1. My name is Clayton Went and I'm the CRM consultant at Globe Software. For anyone that's not familiar with Globe Software, we started out in Perth, Western Australia approximately 15 years ago where we developed and released our product, Atlas. And as it currently stands, we are the world leaders in the Dynamics AX reporting space. Atlas is the most widely used reporting and upload tool for Microsoft Dynamics AX. With over 3,000 installations spread over 60 different countries, at last count, we had over 54,000 users at the driver's seat using Atlas every day. Our small business has grown to now include over 320 partners worldwide. The Atlas 6.1 system is a comprehensive, self-service, end-user reporting and upload framework that allows you to consume your business information in a variety of Microsoft Office software platforms. Atlas empowers you to mix and match information from any data source, such as Microsoft Dynamics CRM, Microsoft Dynamics AX, SQL databases, and SAS OLAP cubes. Atlas maximizes your return on investment by covering every stage of your system's lifecycle. Atlas, when working with Dynamics CRM, enables you to perform complex analytics by providing you the tools to build sophisticated reports and queries from the live data contained within any table, form, or entity in Dynamics CRM. Functionality contained within Atlas, for example, drill down, provides you the ability to drill down into the data, allowing you to source and identify transactions that provide contextual awareness of the information that is presented before you. Atlas features like upload offers functionality allowing you to update Dynamics CRM with vital business operational information such as finance and sales data from external sources such as your Microsoft Office documents and other business system platforms. Atlas, when working with Dynamics CRM, removes the need to create upload templates to then populate that template to push data back into CRM. Seeing is believing, so having said that, let's prepare to see Atlas in action. Let me take you through a scenario where we've been successful in our application to join a global sales company as the new sales manager. Our role is the management of the sales team that looks after all of the company's US reseller and customer accounts. It's our first day on the job, and the company we've been employed with uses Dynamics CRM. Our knowledge of CRM is pretty good. We've actually used it many times in the past, but our experience in the past has also indicated and shown us that all CRM systems can be very different due to the heavy customizations that many businesses introduce. We already have our login details and we're logged in. We open up Outlook and we're having a look at our calendar and we notice this afternoon we have a team meeting. At this point we decide it would be better if we went into the meeting this afternoon with some more information around the accounts we manage and generally how they're performing. So before we begin, let's identify what data we're going to retrieve from Dynamics CRM. Well, we're definitely going to need a list of accounts. And of those lists, we're going to need to filter them somehow to show us only the US accounts, as well as customers and resellers. That'll provide us a good starting point. We'll also need to identify who within our team currently is the owner of which account. We'll need to grab some sales information and we'll grab some sales from last year just to measure against. And let's grab some open opportunities. Let's see what deals are in the pipe. And finally, what do we need and what do we want to avoid? Well, our key need is accurate data. Therefore, we want to avoid any copy pasting or rekeying of data. We don't want to introduce any data corruption due to human error. For data to be accurate, it needs to be current. So we're going to avoid using any old data that resides within any old report or old document. We are the new sales manager, so ultimately we wish to perform this analysis ourselves. Disturbing a colleague or a subordinate with those how do I questions is something we definitely wish to avoid. Right? And we definitely don't want to incur any departmental costs by calling IT and potentially beginning a task of having a new report created. We want to perform quick analysis. We need fast answers. Our meeting's this afternoon. So again, this also eliminates the possibility of calling our local IT seeking quick assistance. I mean, we don't know how busy they are. We don't know what the turnaround is. We don't know when someone would be available to assist. And finally, we would like to perform the analysis in one platform and preferably an application already installed on my machine. Now that we've identified our data requirements and we clearly know what it is we need and what we wish to avoid, let's now imagine that we've opened up our documents and within we find an Excel workbook called High Level Account Performance, and we begin to think, you know what, we might be able to use this. So we open up the document, and when we do, we're greeted by what looks to be a dashboard. It contains some total sales last year, some sales to date information, looks like some opportunities information, and there also looks to be some mild calculations being performed in this dashboard. There's a plus symbol there and an equal symbol, and you know, we could use this. This would be a good starting point. But wait a minute. Earlier when we were discussing those items that we wanted to avoid, wasn't one of those we wanted to avoid any old document or any old report that contained old data? Yes, we did. Okay. The big difference, however, is this is a Microsoft Office document. And we already know that when we use Atlas, any Office cell, object, table, or object can be potentially used for an Atlas report. Therefore, our only concern in regards to this particular document is the age of the information within, nothing more. So let's remove that concern. And to do so, I'm simply going to go into the menu in Excel. I'm going to click on my Atlas 6.1. I'm then going to click on my snippets. I'm going to go into the snippets, locate the snippet that I wish to use, and I'm simply going to drag that snippet into the cell of my choice. Beautiful. Let's update the sales to date. Excellent. Let's update our opportunities. Beautiful. Okay, what we've just done now is we've updated our total sales to date with the latest information from Dynamics CRM, as well as our sales to date, as well as our opportunities. I wonder of those opportunities, which sales can be accredited to my team. Let's grab that data. Excellent. Well, at a glance, I'm rest assured that my team has contributed to over half of all those sales. Beautiful. All right, but that's about as much as I know. So we're going to have to get some more data out of CRM. So let's begin. Now, we already know we need to get account information out. We want to get some revenue information out, or some sales information. We want to get some opportunity information. We clearly need to distinguish the relationships that are applicable to those accounts, because we need to filter them later on to display only our customers and our resellers. And we also want to know if there are any open opportunities in the pipe. Okay, so to begin my inquiry, I'm going to do exactly the same steps as I did when I wanted to update my dashboard. I'm going to go into the menu in Excel. I'm going to select the snippet of my choice. And look, I should probably explain at this point what a snippet is. A snippet, it's almost the beginnings of a report, but it's better in context to say it's actually the beginning of your query. Now, it's just the beginning. You can reuse your snippets and expand on them. Here, we're about to do that actually. So we're going to use one of our snippets just initially to get some account information out. And as before, we select the snippet and we just drag it and drop it into the cell of our choice. And notice I didn't have to start in A1 or A10 or A11. I can drop it anywhere I want. Okay, so what we've now done is we've pulled all the accounts out of CRM, the account name, and what looks to be the primary contact. Fantastic. We're definitely going to need to add some more information to this. So let's get some revenue data and add it to our report. Now, I'm not going to go into my snippets this time. I've already begun my inquiry. I'm now going to build upon that. And I'm simply going to select the fields I wish to add. Annual revenue and my open revenue. Excellent. And then I'll update the report. Fantastic. Now, I don't think we need the primary contact, so let's get rid of that. Beautiful. And we know already at this stage that we're just dealing with the US accounts. So let's remove the other accounts from the equation now, so we're solely dealing with the US accounts. To do that, I'm simply going to click on the gear or the cog on the account number. I'm going to set this field as a filter, and I'm simply going to tell it that I just want the US accounts. I'll close the properties window and then update my report. Beautiful. Now we're just looking at the US accounts. These are applicable to me. Now I'm still not sure what the relationship type is, so let's add that now. Excellent. And look, while we're at it, let's also grab the account owner and opportunities. It will be open deals. Yeah, I believe that's the one. Excellent. And oh yes, we wanted the account owner. Now this is actually a related table. Again, it doesn't add any complexity. It's just as easy. I'll select the correct table and I'm simply going to grab the owner name. Beautiful. And let's update the report. Fantastic. Okay, so now we have relationship types, we have some figures. You know what, let's actually make them look like figures. And you know, let's use Excel to do that. Let's drop in a comma, and let's drop 2 decimal places. Excellent. And then let's apply that to the entire report. That's better. You know what, we may end up using this in the future, or someone else might look at it. So it's kind of important that the field names make a little bit more sense. So let's make a little few some small changes, shall we? Let's change the annual revenue to read total sales last year. Excellent. And that's more in alignment with our dashboard as well. And let's rename our open revenue to sales to date. And so there's no confusion. That way there's no misinterpretation between whether or not this is a member of our team or even a contact to this account. And let's update. Beautiful. I wouldn't mind making some more changes to it as well. I wouldn't mind seeing a sum of the sales to date and as well as the sales. And it might be just me, but I actually like to see my figures towards the end of a report. Excellent. And clicking on the gear, I am now going to add a sum to that field, and I'll add a sum to my sales to date, and I might add an account to the actual accounts. Excellent. And let's update our report. That's a bit better. Okay, we now have our accounts. We have some sales totals. We can see there's a few deals in the pipe. We can see which of the members in my team are currently the owner of which account. I still need to filter it. Okay. We're going to filter this one a little bit differently, just to show you some different functionality. We're going to designate a cell as our filter, and you can clearly see it already. E9 is going to be our filter. So let's set that up. So again, I'm just going to go into the data. I'm going to select the field that I wish to use now as my filter. I'm simply going to click on the gear, or the cog, as some people call it. I want it to be a filter. But this time, I'm just going to use my picker. And I'm then just going to pick the cell in which the filter is going to be applied. Excellent. And I'll just close the properties window and update my report. Beautiful. Now, Atlas does a lot more than just bring back values to one cell. Here, let me show you. The reason why we set this cell as a different filter is because I wanted to show you that we can key in our filters, or we can select. So in this particular case, let's just look at customers. So when I look at my customers, it now just filters my report by my customers. I want to look at multiple, no worries. Let's look at customers and resellers, and let's update the report. Fantastic. You know, I might not wish to use this, so I might just simply type in customer in here instead. Fantastic. Atlas is very intuitive. It allows you to perform functions within in almost an intuitive way. So you're not stuck doing it one particular way. It's flexible. There's always more than one way to perform an action when we use Atlas. That same functionality that we just demonstrated in the filter can also be used to bring back more contextual data. Have a look what happened in our dashboards. My total sales to date, when I actually click on this now, I can obtain more information. If I go into my Atlas 6.1 and I click on drill down, I can have a look now at which relationships generated what revenue that contributed to that figure. So we can see at a quick glance that 64% of our revenue was made by our customers, whereas 4% was our vendors, 1% of that is our partners, and 31% of that was our resellers. We can see what amount as well. If I click on my sales to date, I can see which of our sales team, of their sales figures, contributed to that overall total. So with Atlas, I can provide more information and I can pack it into a single cell or into my report. Really, the option, the choices are mine. It's up to me. What's really interesting, however, and I'll just throw this in here at the end, this report we've created, if we actually use one of Atlas's templates to change the format or the way that this report is displayed, and let's say I group it by account owner, I apply that to my report. What I've inadvertently done now is I've created a report that is almost identical to the account overview report that comes in Dynamics CRM. The big difference being is I chose what data was displayed. I chose how that data was filtered, and I chose where that data was represented. With Atlas, possibilities are endless. So, why did we use Excel and not CRM? Well, one reason, familiarity. Excel is familiar to most of us. We've been using it for many years now, and a lot of us require little to no training to use Excel rather well. We saw firsthand that as we needed more data after our first initial high-level account inquiry, and later again in the demo, we simply chose what data we wished to include, placing it within the workbook before us. We also witnessed how easily I could manipulate the data, not only using the tools contained within Atlas, but also the functions and features that are contained within Excel. It was also very convenient. We did not have to log into CRM to then examine all the reports that have been created to then determine whether or not any of those reports are suited to our needs. And yes, there may have been 2 or 3 reports in there that would have provided us that information, but the likelihood of one report being readily available, yeah, chance of that was pretty low. We did not have to disturb anyone. Not once did we have to approach a subordinate and ask that embarrassing "how do I" question. And with our limited to non-existent knowledge of how CRM is set up for this business, and the limited knowledge of the accounts that were contained within, we were able to not only quickly identify our accounts, but we also gathered vital information related to those accounts. And everything we did was really easy. All the data we looked at was accurate, due to the fact we did not once have to copy and paste or use multiple reports, keying the relevant information from one source to another. We did not introduce any risk of human error. We connected directly to the true source. Therefore, we know without a doubt the data is accurate and up to date. As a data owner, I'm very content in allowing my team to use Atlas. Why? Because what we just demonstrated was only achievable due to the level of access that I have in Dynamics CRM. In fact, without the appropriate domain credentials, we can't even log into Atlas. Atlas is security compliant and introduces no security risks to any business system or network. Atlas liaises with the security protocol of the system in question and applies that same security to anyone that attempts to access it. Atlas has all the reporting features you need within that one tool set. Single cell reporting. Any cell, shape, object, or table can be used as a host for any Atlas report. You choose where and how that data is represented. Table list. By simply using the standard table options in Atlas, you can begin to build structured reports, formatting them professionally and easily. Drill down provides you the contextual awareness to what makes up that data, eradicating questions like, wow, what sales contribute to that revenue? Snippets. We all saw firsthand how easy it is to build an inquiry and then save it and then reuse it, expanding on it later on, using that as my initial starting point. Filters and lookups. Use of these ensures the data before you is related to your inquiry. Refresh. New live data at the click of a button. So all your other reports that you've built within Atlas, you know what, you need them updated, just refresh them. Your report, your query connects directly to the database, presents you the latest information. Don't be misinformed with inaccurate old data. Interested? Then get started and trial Atlas now. On day 1, you receive full designer capabilities, access to all the features, free installation, and full support. and training on how to use Atlas 6.1. Head to our website to register your interest or feel free to contact me directly via my email currently displayed.